Good afternoon. The Secretary General and the Prime Minister will start with short opening remarks and then we'll have time for a couple of questions. Secretary General.
Prime Minister Kučinskis, very much welcome to NATO headquarters. It's a great pleasure to have you here and to meet with you here at the NATO headquarters in Brussels. And let me also congratulate you on your appointment as Prime Minister. I'm looking forward to cooperate with you in your new capacity. You are taking office at a challenging time for European security. And NATO is adapting to keep all allies safe. Latvia is strongly committed to NATO, and NATO is strongly committed to Latvia. You contribute to NATO in many different ways. You contribute to our response force and to our exercises on land, at sea and in the air. Your troops help make a difference in Afghanistan, and you provide strong support for our partner Ukraine, both politically and practically. You, Latvia, host one of our new force integration units in Riga. This small headquarters will play a key role in planning and exercising, and to help ensure that our forces can deploy quickly if needed. We recently decided to enhance our forward presence in the eastern part of our alliance. We also agreed that this presence will be multinational. This sends a very clear signal. An attack on any ally will be met not just by national forces, but by all allies. Our military authorities will provide advice on the size and the composition in the coming weeks. These decisions mean that there will be more NATO in Latvia than ever before. In July, we will meet again at the Warsaw Summit. The decisions we take there will ensure that our alliance is even stronger and more flexible to adapt to threats from any direction. But what will never change is our steadfast determination to keep our people safe. So, Prime Minister, once again, welcome to NATO headquarters. I'm looking forward to our cooperation. Please.
Paldies. Man šis apmeklējums bija ļoti svarīgs.
This visit was very important to me. Because
NATO ir mūsu Latvijas politiskās stabilitātes garants. Ņemot vērā, ka bez šīs drošības un bez stabilitātes drošībā mēs nevaram arī runāt par straujāku mūsu ekonomikas un par straujāku visu Latvijas attīstību. Pirmkārt, es apliecināju arī to, ka Latvija pildīs savus apņemšanos līdz 18. gadam, sasniedzot 2% no Latvijas koprodukta ieguldījumus aizsardzības budžetā, kurus mēs novirzām tieši NATO uzņemšanai Latvijā, tieši sadarbībai ar sabiedrotājiem. Mums ir ārkārtīgi svarīgs šobrīd arī un notiek gatavošanās NATO samitam. Tāpēc bija ļoti svarīgi arī šodien aprunāt tos jautājumus, kāda ir Latvijas vēlmes un kādas ir Latvijas uzstādījumi tālākai sadarbībai. Mēs runājam par hibrīdu kara iespējas, draudu novēršanu. Mēs runājam par NATO lielākas klātbūtnes nodrošināšanu Latvijā un par visiem aizsardzības veidiem, runājot arī par to, cik svarīgi mums ir gan NATO, gan arī integrācija Eiropas Savienībā un šo jautājumu sasaist kopā. Ja mēs esam vienotā telpā un mūsu robeža ir visas Eiropas Savienības robeža.
With Latvian radio.
Hello, Ines Strasdiņa, Radio Latvia. My first question to Secretary General: how would you evaluate overall security situation in the Baltics and in Latvia particularly? And if I may, in Latvian for Prime Minister Kučinskis. Premjerministra kungs, kas ir tās lietas, ko jūs izrunājāt ar ģenerālu sekretāru līdz gaidāmajām Varšavas samitam, kas Latvijā ir jāizdara, saņemot šo apliecinājumu, ka būs pastāvīgi NATO klātbūtne Latvijā?
Assurance that there will be a continuous presence.
When it comes to the security situation in the Baltic region, we see a changed and more challenging security environment. We don't see any imminent threat against any NATO ally, including the Baltic allied members of NATO. But we see a more assertive Russia with a significant military build-up in the region. And that's also the reason why NATO is responding. And NATO has responded by increased presence in the Baltic region with air policing, with naval presence in the Baltic Sea, and also with more exercises and troops on the ground on rotational basis. And we decided to further increase our presence in the eastern part of the alliance, including in the Baltic region. We made that decision at our defense ministerial meeting in February. Now we are working on how this decision is going to be implemented, and I expect the decisions to be taken at our summit in Warsaw. Deciding more on the numbers and how we are going to follow up. What we can already say is that the increased presence of NATO in the Baltic region is going to be a multinational presence, meaning forces from different NATO allied countries, sending a very clear signal about that an attack on one ally will be met by forces from the whole alliance, that we will stand together. And this is a strong and important signal, not least for Latvia and for the other Baltic countries. Moreover, we have also increased the readiness and the responsiveness of our forces. We have tripled the size of the NATO response force, so we can deploy forces quickly if needed. So NATO, together with Latvia, we are responding to a more challenging security environment in the Baltic region.
No, līdz NATO samitam, ja runā par tieši līdz tam laikam darāmiem darbiem. Faktiski mēs runājam par to, cik ir bijis svarīgi, lai Latvija arī pierādītu to, ka mēs aizsardzības budžetām veltām šo pakāpenisko pieaugumu, kas apliecina Latvijas gatavību. Attiecībā uz ilgtermiņa rotācijas spēkiem mums Latvijai jāsagatavojas arī diskusijām un parādīt, ka mēs esam gatavi no savas puses šos atbalstošos pasākumus veikt un apliecināt gatavību uzņemt. Un, protams, ka Latvijai šajā laikā ir jāveic vēl joprojām pārunas un kopējas pozīcijas veidošana arī ar Lietuvu un Igauniju, kas mums ir ļoti svarīgi, lai mēs visi kopā apliecinātu arī, teiksim, Baltijas reģionu vienotību un nepieciešamību pēc sadarbības.
Unity of Baltic states is important, and cooperation between our countries, all three countries too.
Latvian television, Secretary General, a couple of days ago, there were 2 Russian military ships and a submarine in Latvian economic zone waters. How would you interpret that, and would you say that relationship with Russia is growing more intense, there is more tension? And the second question for the Latvian Prime Minister. Kučinska kungs, Rietumbalkānu bēgļu ceļš šobrīd ir slēgts. Tas nozīmē, ka patvērumu meklētāji iespējams meklēs jaunus ceļus nākot caur Krieviju uz Latviju. Tā ir ne tikai Eiropas Savienības, bet arī NATO ārējā robeža. Vai Latvija tam ir gatava vai nesat lūguši Eiropas institūciju palīdzību?
We have seen a significant Russian build-up, military build-up in also the Baltic region with more planes, with more naval presence and also with more troops. And that's the reason why NATO is responding, both with increased military presence and with increased readiness and preparedness of our forces to deploy if needed. At the same time, I think it's important to also underline that everything NATO does is defensive, it is proportionate, and it is absolutely in line with our international commitments. And we do not seek confrontation with Russia. We don't want a new Cold War. So therefore, we also convey a message of that there has to be a balance between military strength and political dialogue and engagement. And I discussed with the Prime Minister the importance of both pursuing the path of strengthening our military capabilities, our defenses, but at the same time pursuing political engagement with Russia, because Russia is going to be our biggest neighbor. Russia is going to continue to be our biggest neighbor. So therefore we also need to continue to strive for a more constructive and cooperative relationship with Russia. But that has to be based on some fundamental rules and values. And one of the most important values is, of course, the importance of respecting the borders of your neighbor, because that's a precondition for a constructive relationship.
Jautājums par iespējamiem bēgļu ceļiem ir šovakar Eiropadomes dienas kārtībā kontekstā ar galveno jautājumu sadarbību ar Turciju. Pirmkārt, šajā sadarbības ar Turciju jautājumā ļoti svarīgi ir arī NATO klātbūtne Egejas jūrā, par ko ir viens no punktiem, un tiek arī apspriests jautājums, ja šis plāns, ja šī plāna rezultātā parādās, var parādīties citi ceļi, tad mums arī kā Eiropas Savienības dalībvalstī ir šovakar ļoti svarīgi uzsvērt, lai šie jautājumi paliktu dienas kārtībā. Tātad iespējamie divi papildus ceļi, Balkānu un otrs caur Krieviju un Baltijas valstīm. Par to mēs šovakar noteikti runāsim.
Thank you very much. This concludes this press point. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I follow you to the